Dan Watson's 15-game win streak for the Grand Rapids Griffins ties the franchise record all time.
Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome back to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We're a podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network, and we are sponsored by DraftKings. I'm one of your hosts, Connor.
And I'm the other host, Kyle. We're a show brought to you by the fans for the fans. We are season ticket members. We are not sponsored or partnered with the Detroit Red Wings or Grand Rapids Griffins. We bring this show just to give you a fan perspective on hockey. We watch a lot of Griffins games. It's a pleasure to be down there, and it has been electric this season. We're on a 15-game winning streak currently, and we want to talk about it all day.
Yeah, the Griffins are unstoppable. We just tied the Todd Nelson team of 15 wins in a row. So this upcoming New Year's game, we could start a new thing on New Year's and win. Get 16 wins in a row and break the record all time. That'd be a huge accomplishment for Dan Watson, and we have to thank Dan Watson, obviously, for being the man behind everything.
Dan Watson has been named to the 2026 AHL All-Star game as the head coach for the Central Division, and this will be his second year in a row doing that.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. Obviously, he's earned it. He's had a lot of achievements. He's never missed the playoffs in his career. He's turned the Griffins around completely. I mean, this team was an absolute train wreck before Dan Watson came here. I mean, Toledo was competing down there, and he brought that compete level right up. And the team he has right now, I think, might be the best team Dan Watson ever has had. So this is really, really cool to have.
Yeah, and in 172 games played, which would be the second fastest head coach for the Grand Rapids Griffins to 100 wins here. So 100 wins for Dan Watson, 53 losses, 12 overtime losses, and 7 shootout losses. So really stepping it up this year, winning probably about 70% of his games now after starting the season with only 57% of the games won.
And yeah, that was the best start in AHL history also in 90 years of AHL hockey. Crazy how good Griffins are. They're literally the best team in all hockey right now.
Yeah, and we're just blessed to have this guy on the team as the head coach. Guy came in, started in 2010 for the Walleye, so just the fact that he's been around the organization for this long and he's doing this as the head coach of the Grand Rapids Griffins, it just bodes well for his career and the direction that it's going to go in the future here.
Yeah, and you kind of lost that Walleye connection. Derek Lalonde loses his job, so that Toledo connection isn't quite there as much, and you kind of hope that it's there. And I feel like Watson's kind of kept the Toledo call-ups and everything with players like Geilander, who we'll talk about later. I mean, everything the man does is just great, so we just want to praise Dan Watson.
Yeah, so that being said, the Griffins have got themselves through the last couple games here. So just a quick look into the past for the Griffins here. We had 2 games this last week. Sunday, we played the Cleveland Monsters, in which we won in a shutout with Carter Geilander. This was hat tricks and hoops night, and that was a 5-0 big win for the Griffins.
Yeah, and obviously the sickest jerseys in sports right now. I mean, they're kind of a hot commodity out there. I mean, we were really wishing it was a jersey giveaway.
Yeah, the actual jersey giveaway would have been awesome, but
it'd be cool to make those available for people to purchase.
And yeah, I mean, got to be glad the Pistons brought those teal jerseys back as an alternative, but I think it's time to switch those things back to the official home jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then after the Sunday game, we got all the way through the holiday week, until Saturday, December 27th, we played the Milwaukee Admirals, where we won 3-0. And another big shutout, this one for Sebastian Kosa.
So, yeah, 2 shutouts in a row. First, Cutter Geilander. Second, Sebastian Kosa. Goalie room looking hot as ever.
So then we got the transactions moving up and down. We have Carter Geilander being sent down to the Toledo Walleye, shockingly, as Michael Postava has returned to the lineup. They don't want to carry 3 goalies, and Carter Geilander has been sent down.
Yeah, and Carter Geilander actually stole that top spot from Kosa there on the team for goals against average and save percentage there for a second. Kosa just got that shutout, so I believe Kosa's back on top. But Carter Geilander, he's not necessarily a qualified goalie because he's only played 7 games in the AHL. So you have to put him in. If he was a qualified goalie, he would be in the top 3. So huge seeing him. He shouldn't be going down to Toledo. We'll talk about it later, but it's kind of getting to that point where it's time to call Sebastian Kosa up. Michael Postava's back on the bench. Looks like he's healed up, about ready to play. And I think it's time to at least get Kosa a taste.
Yeah, I agree. We will get into it a little bit here later, but it seems like with what's going up on the Detroit Red Wings with the 2 goalies they have, be the perfect time to insert someone to rile the room up, give the room a little competition. So, and then that would free the logjam for Carter Geilander to be back up here on the Grand Rapids team where he probably belongs. So,
yeah, and I mean, with the stats of 1.5, 1.7 goals against average and a save percentage of 9.943, that's as good as you could possibly ask for. I mean, he's kind of been in limbo. He's kind of been back and forth all year. He's played about half there, half here, and I think he's earned a spot up here, honestly.
well, yeah, I think that was the big concern. He rolled in as the number 3 this year with Kosa and Postava, but with Postava being out, he's really played his way right into this position where I think if Kosa moved up, we'd be just fine. So it's good news, all good news there. And just, yeah, the fact that he's going to be down in Toledo, maybe bring that Toledo team back up a little bit. So in limbo, kind of a new statement we got here for the transactions. Chad Hildenbrand signed to a PTO by the Grand Rapids Griffins. Next week, he's dropped back down to Toledo, and now I believe he's been signed to another PTO by the Grand Rapids Griffins. So,
yeah, and he's looked really good. He's gotten a fight for the team, stood up for the team. He's got 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists, a +4. I mean, he's been a great contributor to the team, a Western Michigan guy. So, love to have him.
yeah, and he's been a key contributor for Toledo Walleye. And this isn't his first time up in the AHL. He's played for Colorado Eagles, and just kind of good to have him back here in Michigan where he played college. So good to see out there contributing to this team. And with the absence of Lombardi and Mazer and some of these other forwards, I think we're in good need of a Chad Hildenbrand out there. So thank you for joining the squad. Speaking of the injury report, where we have Amadeus Lombardi, Shai Boom, and Carter Mazer all on the injury report. You could put Michael Postava in there too, but he was the backup for Kosa in that Milwaukee game. So I'm expecting to see him out there relatively soon. And it sounds like Amadeus Lombardi is skating with the team, along with Shai Boom are both skating with the team. So sounds like relatively soon returns for those two. And Carter Mazer, still not really a timetable for his return.
Yeah, hopefully Carter Mazer comes back and has a fire under him, because he was leading the team, and for the longest time, he was on the top 5 of our goals in our leaderboard here in Grand Rapids until it's been so long. But he's still he had a next level of determination to get to the wings, I think, more than a lot of these other players do. And then not just him going down, but Amadeus Lombardi going down too. That was like our kind of our core almost of our last year's team. So it's just kind of really amazing how with all these new players and all this new stuff going on, we still managed to be that good. Hats off to Watson once again.
Yeah, for just doing the best every night with what he's given out here, and just a great team. Everyone's reliable and fundamentally sound, and that's why the Griffins are winning games. A well-coached, well-oiled machine. So we'll get into the standings and stats now for the Grand Rapids Griffins. We'll bounce into the Central Division, where we have the Grand Rapids Griffins leading the way, as you all know by now. In 28 games played, we have 26 wins, 1 loss, 0 overtime losses, and 1 shootout loss for 53 points. In second place, we have the Chicago Wolves with 33 points. In third place, we have the Manitoba Moose with 32 points. Fourth place, we have the Rockford Ice Hogs with 29 points. In fifth place, we have the Milwaukee Admirals, falling off of the top 3 here after losing their last 9 games, and they have 26 points. And then the Texas Stars have 24 points. In seventh place, the Iowa Wild with 19 points. The top 5 teams all making the playoffs here. So Texas Stars and Iowa Wild sitting out right now.
Yeah, crazy how it's going. We are way far ahead of everyone. We have a little bit of a cushion. We could play terribly for a little bit and survive, but you wouldn't want to see that with this team. You want to keep winning. The goal is to keep winning, stay hot, and hopefully we can just keep playing like we are. So we'll get to the AHL stats. We have in first place the Grand Rapids Griffins with 53 points. In second place, we have the Willsbury Scranton Penguins with 46 points. In third place, we have the Province Bruins with 43 points. In fourth place, we have the Colorado Eagles, 39 points. In fifth place, we have the LaBelle Rocket with 37 points. Tied for sixth place, we have the Syracuse Crunch, Ontario Reign, and San Jose Barracuda with 36 points. In ninth place, we have a 3-way tie with the Rochester Americans, Calgary Wranglers, and the Coachella Valley Firebird, who are starting to emerge.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it last week, how we were missing a couple teams up here in the top 10, and it looks like the Chicago Wolves and the Manitoba Moose have kind of taken a step back, and the Calgary Wranglers and the Coachella Valley Firebirds are right back in the top 10. So it only takes a breath with these middle teams being locked in and as tight as the middle of the AHL is right now. Couple wins, couple losses, you'll move big. So we'll move into the AHL points. AHL point leaders we have. So in first place, we have a 3-way tie for the AHL point leaders. Arthur Kalayev for the Belleville Senators, Jakob Pelletier for the Syracuse Crunch, and the Laurent Dauphin, the Laval Rocket, all with 32 points, tied for first. Then we have Quinn Hudson, Patrick Brown, and Brett Seeney, all tied for third place. They're all tied for fourth place with 30 points. Quinn Hudson from Bakersfield Condor, Patrick Brown from Providence Bruins, Brett Seeney from Rockford Ice Hogs. So for AHL goals, we have Arthur Kalayev for the Belleville Senators with 19 goals, tied with John Leonard from the Grand Rapids Griffins, also with 19 goals. The only difference there is John Leonard only played 20 games. In third place, we have Quinn Hudson from the Bakersfield Condors with 17 goals. In fourth place, we have Jakob Pelletier from the Syracuse Crunch with 15 goals. And in fifth place, we have a 2-way tie between Dominic Shine and Logan Morrison. Dominic Shine with 14 and Logan Morrison also with 14 from the Coachella Valley Firebird. Then we'll mention the AHL goalies by save percentage in first place.
So in first place, we have Sergei Murisov with a .941 save percentage. In second place, we have Sebastian Kosa from the Griffins with a 0.940. We have in third, Simon Jacek from the Province Bruins with a 0.934. We have in fourth place, Michael DiPietro, who's also a Province Bruin, with a 0.933. And then we have in 5th place Isaiah Potch from the Colorado Eagles with a 0.919.
Also tied with Jacob Fowler, who also has a 0.919. Then we're not going to go over goals percentage. Just know that Sebastian Kosa is your leader for the league. But we're going to go ahead now into Grand Rapids Griffins. Point leaders, we have John Leonard leading the way still with only 20 games, 29 points. In second place, we have Dominic Shine starting to catch up with 26 points. Sheldon Dreiss, 24 points in third place. Michael Brenzig-Nygaard in fourth place with 19, tied with Eric Gustafson. There's your top 5 for Griffins points.
So for goals, we have John Leonard with 19 goals in first place still. And then we got Dominic Shine in second with 14 goals. Edwards Traumax in third with 13 goals. Sheldon Dries in fourth with 10 goals. And Michael Brenzig-Nygaard in fifth place with 7 goals.
And we're just going to go over the Grand Rapids goalies here, where we're going to cover the 3, Michael Pastava, Geilander, and Kosa. Pastava yet to return, hasn't played a game since being injured, but in his 5 games played, he has a goals against average 2.15 and a save percentage of 0.936. Carter Geilander has really stepped up recently in his 7 games played. He has a 1.57 goals against average and a 0.943 save percentage. And Sebastian Kosa, he's got 16 games played. He's got 15 wins, a 1.57 goals against average, just like Geilander, and a 0.940 save percentage.
And it kind of almost appears as though you could kind of throw any goalie into here and they'd be successful based on all these numbers you're looking at currently. I've watched last game especially. Kosa had to work for that shutout. I mean, he faced a lot of really tough goals, and I think it's just the goalies and Ruste Kopinen being a great goaltenders coach and having these guys already.
So that should wrap us up for the standing stats. We'll get into our DraftKings ad.
The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into 200 bonus bucks if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see pkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
So in this segment, this is our hot and cold segment. We like to go over a player who's fiery hot. We like to go over a player who is icy cold, and we like to go over a random player that we use a number generator. We randomize a number and we match it with the jersey number, and then we rate that player on hot to cold. So here we go. Kyle, who is hot?
Yeah, I think we're just going to go off and mention that today nobody will be cold because the team has had the best start in AHL history and is on a 15-game winning streak. It's hard to narrow down anyone in this team that's not putting in their effort and say that they are cold when the team is playing this good.
Yeah, and there's so many dudes playing at such incredible levels that it's hard to – there's not only so many stats to go around, so – I think everyone's played great, and I don't think anyone's cold.
Yeah, all 12 forwards. I mean, night in, night out, all 6 defensemen, night in, night out, playing their toes off. And don't forget those goalies. So, speaking of the players that are hot, because we got to narrow it down to maybe who's doing a little better than the rest. We're going to start with Sheldon Dries.
Exit John Leonard, enter Sheldon Dries. Since Leonard's been, Sheldon Dries has been the guy getting the points. He has 11 points in his last 10 games, and he won AHL Player of the Week. He has played 23 games. He's got 10 goals, 14 assists for 24 points, and a plus 15. So great stats all around. And I mean, he kind of filled exactly what Leonard was doing.
Yeah, putting pucks in the back of the net. I mean, this guy's got 2 points in each of his last 4 games. So just laying it out there since John Leonard has left. And most of the time it seems like Sheldon Dries is the first one to put the puck in the net every night. And the train just gets rolling after that. So Sheldon Dries has been an absolute leader. He's had that A on his shoulder, and it well-deserved. Keep it up. Keep putting those pucks in the back of the net, and next man up. I mean, Sheldon Dries is as well-deserving as a Red Wings call-up as anyone on this team. So
then we're going to talk about Carter Geilander, too.
Yeah, Carter Geilander, we got to talk about him. Just shut out in the last game there against the Cleveland Monsters. Looking fresh in that teal Pistons style jersey. And putting up practically just better numbers than Kosa in the 7 games he has played. I mean, you can't complain a tidbit about Carter Geilander and what he's done for this team. He's put on a show for Toledo, too. So,
yeah, he has looked amazing. I mean, he's played half the games this Coast, so we can't forget that. So there's that. Coast has had way more of a workload, but he still looks great. Carter Geilander looking great. If he was an eligible goalie, which I think he should be at some point, I'm not sure exact the rules of what requires eligibility, but I guess 7 games is not it. But he would be in the top 5, top 3 in the AHL.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch Geilander develop too. I mean, last year he poked his head in the game and got himself some games for Grand Rapids, and this year he's came in as the 3rd. But at this point, it's looking like someone needs to move up and down in this logjam. So it's been interesting. Carter Geilander giving himself every reason, especially during this Michael Pastava injury drought. So just been putting up everything you need to do to stay on the team and still get sent down to Toledo Walleye. So a little bit upsetting for him, I'm sure. But it just makes Steve Yzerman start to think and make those moves. So
it's really hard. There really is a logjam. I mean, you got Gibson, who's playing out of his mind this last month, and then you got Talbot, who's getting struggling a little bit. You know, the 2 goalies up there kind of flip-flopped. Gibson had a rough start. Talbot was on fire. They kind of flipped. But I think even for Talbot, you know, to light a fire under Talbot and then to keep the fire under Gibson, I think it wouldn't be bad to have Coast.
So we're going to talk about the random player we have generated, number 55. We're going to talk about Ian Mitchell today.
Yeah, Ian Mitchell, he's kind of the guy that hasn't been mentioned as much credit as Gustafson and Justin Hall. He, another NHL capable player, is down here playing in the AHL because, you know, the Red Wings kind of have every spot filled up there, and he's held in. He's played great. He's gotten goals. He had a really cool backhand goal a couple weeks ago. I mean, Ian Mitchell's been a huge part of this team and the success, and he's the reason why. I mean, we have those 3 guys. If we can hang on to 2 of them, I think we can continue this route. I feel like, sadly, Gustafson or him or Hall might be on the way out. Probably looking like Gustafson would be the most likely one to go. He has the most value attached to him. But
I actually think Hall has the most value, the highest contract. And we can't forget about Lagesson, too. I mean, Lagesson's been performing out of his mind as one of these veterans that probably shouldn't be playing down here. So between Ian Mitchell, Lagesson, Justin Hall, and Eric Gustafson, there's definitely someone's got to break free here. But Ian Mitchell, I mean, just night in, night out again. He has performed. He's got game winners. Yeah, Ian Mitchell's been hot. I mean, the whole team is absolutely on fire. So it's hard to say anyone's cold. But Ian Mitchell is just another one of those veteran defensemen that we just gotta maybe try to hold on to now that he's over here.
Yeah, so let's get back into that goalie talk and get back. Griffins earning their wings. So for this segment of the episode, we like to talk about some of the Grand Rapids Griffins on their quest to the NHL, to the top of the top of the leagues, and they're coming through Grand Rapids and then moving on, graduating and earning their wings. We like to talk about Griffins close to being there and Griffins who have been there. So Sebastian Cossa, the 15th overall pick by Steve Yzerman in 2021. He's been here on the Griffins for about 3 years now. He worked his way through the Toledo Walleye, coming up to the Grand Rapids Griffins and being our solid guy, our workhorse. And he has pretty much proven to everyone at this point that it's time for him to get some NHL time. He's got a .940 save percentage and a 1.57 goals against average. He's 15 of his 16 games played, and Cossa is hungry.
Yeah, no doubt. Cossa deserves some time in the NHL. I think last year when we were talking about it halfway through the season, I think we were all kind of on page with Cossa probably needs like 20 games in the NHL this year. Well, and then the Red Wings brought over John Gibson. That kind of cuts into how much time Sebastian Cossa is going to get, but Cossa's done nothing but exceed expectations down here in the AHL, and I believe that it's truly time for him to get another chance. He's already played a game up there. He won. It's time for him to get back up there and be in the same level of goalies that he's played against his whole time down here and beat these other goalies like Askarov and Wallstat. And time to him to join them ranks, go up, make his move in the NHL, and give a little more freedom down here to Carter Geilander and Postava to battle it out as the number one down here.
Yeah, it's just kind of seeming like a logjam right now. I mean, the 3 goalie thing isn't good anywhere. It's not good in the NHL. It's not good in the AHL. It's not good in the ECHL. But you got to think if Cossa and Postava are both doing good in the AHL, for the most playing time, Geilander is going to get it in Toledo. So that's why he got sent down. But everyone thinks he's been playing good enough to stay up. I mean, obviously, he's a top 5 goalie if he were qualified up here in the AHL. And then it's just another taste. It's like it puts a fire under Gibson and Talbot. It's just a good thing to get Cossa up there, get him that experience. Yes, Detroit doesn't have quite the defense that Grand Rapids has down here, and he might have to face more stops, but you're never going to learn unless you face that adversity. So I think it's sooner than later. Right now, while he's hot, right off a shutout, I say call him up.
And we all know Talbot, he's a great veteran goaltender. But I think at some point, with the more aged goaltenders, that it's fair to say you can give your first round pick goaltender a chance and maybe take some of the games off of the veteran goaltender, in my opinion. I think you got to get this kid who's got fresh legs a chance while, he's about to be in his prime. Before he gets in his prime, get him familiar with the league and just let him and Gibson share some time. Maybe if at this point, I'm okay if Talbot's games get cut into. I don't think Talbot should be playing 41 games this year. I think Talbot should be playing more like 25, 30 games. Maybe Gibson gets half the games and Cossa gets the rest.
And that just gives Postava and Geilander a chance. And then there's the other looming question of like, where's the room for Augustine when he comes over?
Yeah, because Geilander is playing out of his mind right now. We almost forgot Augustine is even in the room.
It's another kind of thing you're going to look at for the trade deadline. You got a room of goalies in the top of the AHL, and you got another goalie coming in, and obviously Augustine's going to be the priority. Like, you could see Geilander or Pastava going away in a package somewhere.
Yeah, at this point, you got to say hold on to Pastava being the short time that we've seen him. So, I mean,
You'd like to hold on to all of them,
you
but
would like to.
these are just, I'm not saying any of these guys are actually going to get traded or anything like that, but like, it's just like the veteran defenseman. It's our kind of bargaining chip. If Yzerman needs to pull and get rid of some of these guys who aren't like our future core.
Yeah, it's nice to have options because when your team plays well like this, other teams take notice of your players and gives you a little more bargaining room than when your team's just collapsing and then you're trying to get rid of some of the players that aren't helping, and the other teams are just like, well, we don't want him. He's only got 3 goals.
Yeah.
But other teams know what they're looking for, and if they're looking over here in Grand Rapids, they're seeing some good players. So.
But yeah, let's wrap that segment up and we'll get into our final segment of the episode. Welcome to the penalty box. This is the final segment of every episode. We like to throw the biggest idiot of the week into the sin bin for a 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing into the penalty box?
Well, I mean, this one's maybe a little bit obvious. Maybe a high target with Sherrone Moore and the situation that he's going to. Kind of left the whole Michigan situation, the whole Michigan football room in question. And definitely going for a 5-minute major here. And we're not going to dive too deep into it because there's just a lot of touchy subjects with it. And I'm just a little disappointed. Don't need to have that going on in the Michigan football, very prestigious school. You just don't need that kind of stuff going on here. And I would prefer if that stayed out of the sports and we kept our business to business. And it's just sad that it happened.
It's really sad. I mean, when you have that high of a position, I think you're held responsible, and you got all these players looking up to you and all these recruits coming in, and now you're gone. Like, that's like you disappointed all these players and all these recruits that probably don't want to come here anymore, which is really sad because he had a really good recruiting trail, it seems, and he brought in the number 1 quarterback, and hopefully we can retain him. And yeah, I mean,
just disappointing all around. And now Michigan has officially hired their new coach, the coach from Utah. Obviously wishing them the best of luck, but just like a weird situation. Just seems like after the national championship and all the scandals and everything, and then now this. Mm-hmm. And it's just like to get back in the winning on Michigan's terms, not scandals and chicanery.
Chicanery, yeah. So yeah, let's get into mine. So I'm going to throw DK Metcalf into the box. I don't care what was said, obviously, apparently the dude was saying racial slurs. Obviously, probably deserve it if you were. But either way, DK Metcalf kind of walked up, grabbed him by the hair, pulled him down, said something to him, and then kind of slapped him in the face. So not acceptable by a player. The guy's lawyered up, and that's how you really destroy your career and make a lot of people not like you. And DK Metcalf is a good player, so that's really sad to see. I'm saying a 5-minute major also.
Yeah, it's very Antonio Brown of you, buddy. And being that you're on the Steelers, it just kind of not a fan. Definitely a heck of a player. And when you have that platform, you probably shouldn't go grabbing fans by the hair and smacking them. I mean, no matter what they say, you don't have to step into their world.
Yeah, so that should wrap us up for this week's penalty backs and wrap us up for this episode. Coming up, we have that Carter Mazer giveaway we didn't forget about. We're going to do that for our next episode, and then we're going to start a new giveaway. We got some call-ins. We're probably gonna play here in one of these episodes coming up. Give some tickets away for that, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. The Grand Rapids Griffins got some games coming up. They got the chance to break history and get 16 consecutive wins. That will be December 31st at 6 p.m. an early game here at the Van Andel Arena. Grand Rapids Griffins making history possibly on New Year's indoor fireworks show, biggest in West Michigan after the game. So stick around for that also.
There's also a post-game skate after that game. So probably while they're getting their fireworks set up, you'll be allowed to go out on the ice for a bit. So don't forget about that.
Yeah, so great time. It's probably close to sold out. So if you want your tickets, you better get your tickets now. But yeah, so besides that, the Grand Rapids Griffins play that weekend too. We got a home game against the Chicago Wolves and an away game against the Chicago Wolves. So Friday and Saturday.
Well, everyone, have a happy holiday rest of your season and have a happy new year.
Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like, and follow us on Facebook and X. Or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.